welcome
to another episode of Doctor Who Time and Space with your hosts today, me, Lewis Moon.
And me, Dr. Cool.
Which must be quite a surprise to you because we never host the show.
No. And we're never on a Saturday.
No. Well, last week we weren't, so...
Last week we weren't, but we're back to our normal routine.
For the foreseeable future.
I think so.
Until probably maybe London Film and Comic Con, depending on what night it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be askew.
But
what do we have on this week's show?
We have today, it's episode 196, and we have a look back at our 6 favourite stories from the 2000s, or the RTD era of Doctor Who.
We'll be giving our review on the wretched episode that is Curse of the Black Spot.
Oh dear. We have our latest news and views.
We will be pressing the magic randomizer.
That's probably about it.
Probably is.
So, should we start off with a little bit about what we've been doing this week?
Yeah, mine won't take long. What have you been doing?
Doctor Who wise, not much. I mean, I finished my Sirens of Time audio.
What was your overall opinion in the end?
It was okay.
Yeah, not the best.
Wasn't one of the better Big Finish ones.
No.
It was a bit disappointing because I was expecting one with 3 Doctors in to be better.
Yeah.
But
Because they probably, if it's the first one, they're probably still finding their feet with it.
Yeah. But it's okay. I'm gonna move on to Marshfall, I think now.
Okay.
Which looks really cool. Other things, been continuing with Stranger Things.
Yep.
I only watched 1 episode since we last talked, but
I guess because it's a Sunday, yeah.
But I usually watch them on Fridays and Saturdays, so there's another one for me tonight, which is the penultimate one of the season. It'd be a shame after I finished that.
Yeah, because only the one season. I don't know when the next season's due out, do you?
It's like in the summer, July or something, or June.
Oh, is that okay? Oh, not that long off, really.
No, not that long. But then, if there's going to be a suit, and then after that, though, you have to wait either a whole year or never, because don't know how long it can last.
Yeah.
Don't know if the plot's similar or.
I guess it depends on how popular it is and stuff like that. I still haven't watched any of them yet, and I really must get around to watching them.
No, it's a really good series.
But I haven't really watched anything. I didn't watch anything last week at all.
And Sherlock, you've got to start watching Sherlock as well.
I should watch Sherlock.
What one are you going to watch first?
That's true. I don't know.
See,
the only thing that puts me off Sherlock, because I would like to watch it, but it's just the length of it.
I know.
Sitting down for an hour and a half film is just quite a commitment in an evening.
I did watch episodes 2 and 3 in full chunk, but the first episode, the one that was on New Year's Day, I watched about 45 minutes of it and then watched the other half the next day.
So I don't like splitting things. If they're not meant to be split, I always feel funny just turning it off.
In the first one wasn't the greatest episode of Sherlock.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the ones which aren't as good, but I actually got to an exciting bit in it and then I paused it because I couldn't sit through the whole hour and a half.
Yeah, no, that's right. But it never feels right turning it off, does it?
No.
Have you done anything else this week, or was that really the limit of it? Because I've got nothing really to talk about at all this week. Because I've not watched anything. I've been out and about quite a bit, so I've not watched anything at all.
If you're listening to Podomatic, at the moment it's a Podomatic exclusive, but we will upload it to YouTube soon. We've done a 3-minute rant special edition.
Oh yeah.
And that's got us. Should I reveal what the rants are?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So we will be discussing. I am discussing why I think it's time for Stephen Moffat to leave, and Deacle will be discussing what he thinks lies in the future for the Daleks and the Cybermen.
So, if you want to hear And we were ranting on the spot really because neither of us knew the question the other one was posing.
No,
so
like always.
It was a on the spot rant.
Yes.
Which we then broadcast after recording it. And if you want to hear how that rant went, or how this rants went, I should say,
yes,
then pop along to the channel on Podomatic, which is
Doctor Time and Space.
Doctor Time and Space, yeah.
So also I've had plans. We've been planning this week the 200th episode of the podcast, which is coming in about a month's time. There's going to be some exciting things. There's going to be a one-off return of a special little nugget that we used to do, but we stopped. Beginning of the year, I'd say.
So beginning of last year, probably.
End of last year, beginning of last year, but it's returning. We've got a special review story. It's one of two things, and we've got a very special article. So
lots to look forward to.
That'll be a great show.
Yeah.
We won't reveal what's going to happen in that until 199.
Okay.
Probably, but that'll be good when our plans are confirmed for it.
Okay. Well, on that basis, it's got quite a quick discussion of stuff. We haven't gone off on as many tangents as
we usually go on a few tangents, don't we? But I suppose it's time to find out what's been going on around the Whoniverse in the last 6 days. The news, then. We've got some very sad news to start off this week. Very sad news. And that is that Sir John Hurt has died at the age of 77. John Hurt was known for many roles. He is a legendary actor, really. I'll run through some of his most famous roles in a second. But what we know him as at Doctor Who Time and Space, and what most Doctor Who fans know him as, is the War Doctor from The Day of the Doctor. He was a key character for the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor.
If you think about it, it's the first time we've lost a Doctor
since John Pertwee.
Very sad. I was really, really sad by this.
Me
news,
too. I was sad. I didn't expect it.
No, I really like John Hurt. Really like him as an actor. There's a lot of things he's been in that I really love, and you'll go through some of that in a minute. But also, he just had one of the most distinctive voices that you could hear. You could always tell if it was John Hurt just from the voice.
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted you then. But
No. That doesn't matter. Other Doctor Who fans would know that Hurt also returned to his role as the War Doctor in the Big Finish audio plays in 2015. And he... and that was in 2015. He's done 3 box sets, with the 4th coming out in February. And he's also got an Invisible Man thing coming out from Big Finish, which isn't from the Doctor Who range. So, when people hear that, they'll only be thinking about John Hurt. I expect it will be some good plays. I mean, I'd recommend you buy them in memory of him. It's got Leela in the next one, but
yeah. This is bonus in itself.
Yes. Lovely. What are his other roles then? So, his first film was The Wild and the Willing. But he made his mark in Fred Zinnemann's A Man for All Seasons, playing Richard Rich. His portrayal of Timothy Evans in 10 Rillington Place, the true story of an innocent man hanged for murder, earned him his first BAFTA nomination. By the way, he was born in 1940, so he was 77. He won a BAFTA playing Quentin Crisp in the TV play The Naked Civil Servant, produced by ex-Doctor Who producer Verity Lambert. a role he would reprise in the 2009 film An Englishman in New York. He won further plaudits in the 1976 series I, Claudius, playing the psychotic Roman Emperor Claudius. In 1978, he won his first Academy nomination for Midnight Express, losing out to Christopher Walken, but for which he won a Golden Globe and a second BAFTA. His unique voice graced the animated films Watership Down and Lord of the Rings, which Lord of the Rings, the animated version, was one of the things that you know John Hurt from most.
Yeah, well, I always liked the animated ones from when I was growing up, and all the animated one because they only made half of it. But John Hurt plays Aragorn.
Yes.
And I still, when I read the book, you know when you read things, and you particularly when you're reading things where they've since made film versions of it, and you picture the character that you've seen in the TV series.
Yes.
Whenever I read Lord of the Rings, I hear John Hurt's voice as Aragorn.
Really?
So to me, he was the definitive Aragorn.
Oh.
But he was really good in Watch It Down as well. It's another lovely cartoon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. In 1980, he played perhaps one of his famous roles, if not his most famous role, as John Merrick in The Elephant Man, earning him his second Academy Award nomination. The same year, his other most famous role came about, where he had a gruesome end as Kane in Alien. And 4 years later, he played Winston Smith in the film adaptation of the Orwell classic set in the year 1984.
Two absolute classics mentioned there, though.
Yes.
Firstly, Alien is a really popular sci-fi.
Are you a fan of that? Have you watched?
Yeah, the first one I do like. I'm not very keen on the other ones, but the first one is very good, and his sequence is particularly stunning on the memorable bits. The Elephant Man is an absolutely brilliant film. Absolutely brilliant, and John Hurt is fantastic in it. It's very, very sad, and they actually filmed it in black and white to make it feel older.
Did they show it in black and white?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing showed in black and white.
I thought it was I always used to think it was a really old film, but...
No, it's not. No, but very, very good film.
He had roles in the Harry Potter films as well, and the Merlin TV series, and played the MP Alan Clark in the Alan Clark Diaries. Hurt recently starred in Oscar-nominated biopic of President John F. Kennedy's widow, Jackie, which is currently showing in cinemas, so must be one of his final roles.
I actually really... They don't mention it in there, but there's a sort of horror film that he's in called Skeleton Key, and I really, really liked him in that.
Really?
Yeah, very good film.
In 2015, Hurt received a knighthood from Her Majesty the Queen for services to drama, to add to the CBE he received in 2004, which made him Sir John Hurt. John Hurt was sadly diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2015, but was later given the all clear. In an interview last year, he said he had no fear of death. But John Hurt was married 4 times.
Was he?
He is survived by his wife of 12 years, Anwen Rees Myers, and his 2 sons, Alexander and Nicholas. So this is very sad news to hear of the death of John Hurt.
Yeah, I love John Hurt. Very sad about that, really. Yeah. And he was great as the War Doctor. It was
a very shocking scene. We were only talking about the War Doctor last week, actually, and I mean, it's such a shame how it was his birthday last week, and we were celebrating that it was. But we actually said "Happy Birthday, John Hurt" on last week's show.
Yeah, of course we did.
So, you know, sad.
Yeah, very sad indeed.
But
thank you, John, for all of the great stuff you brought us. And thanks as Doctor Who fans. Thanks for such a fine portrayal of the War Doctor.
Yes, and he has been in so many great film and TV roles, and you know, we'll remember him for those from his roles. I mean, Doctor Who fans obviously will always remember him as the War Doctor, but people will remember him from The Elephant Man, from Alien, for all sorts of films.
Yeah.
Because he was the Doctor more than anybody else. He was the Doctor on the day it wasn't possible to get it right. So, John Hurt.
Thanks for that, Lou. That was a really nice article.
Oh, yes.
So, aside
Should
from that
we
sad
move
news,
on?
have we got
Yes,
any other? Anything?
let's
We need something
move on.
we need some
We need
uplifting
something
news.
uplifting, don't
Yeah.
we? Luckily, I did something on my website, as I always do, and I never actually thought of it, because I'm so dumb to think of that. I actually do a thing every Friday on MissLewishMeanAdventures.weebly.com about Doctor Who News Round, which is all of this week's news rounded up, along with fan shows and episodes of Doctor Who Time and Space and all stuff like that. So I'm reading these bits of news on here.
Okay.
Class continued this week.
Okay.
And Class episode 5, Bravish Heart, aired at 10:45 this week. It had a slightly lower rating again, with 0.66 million viewers for its debut on BBC One, according to its unofficial overnight figures. Of course, the consolidated final figures will be out in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
This is a share of 7% of the total TV audience. The rating is down on the overnight figures for last week's episode, and the programme was outrated by both Newsnight on BBC Two, which had 0.73 million watching, and by Through the Keyhole on ITV, which had 0.70 million watching. Episode 6, Detained, which followed at 11:35 p.m, had an audience of 0.21 million, a share of 3.5%, which isn't very good at all. This episode was beaten by Hospital on BBC Two with 0.33 million, and by The Chase on ITV with 0.26 million. Why are they watching The Chase at 11:30 at night?
I don't even know what The Chase is.
It's a game show.
Oh, is it?
They usually show it at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So I don't know
all in
why
all,
you
though,
shove it on.
All in all, I still think a lot of the fault here lies squarely with the BBC, because I just don't think that the people that are going to be watching TV at that time will be wanting to watch Class.
No.
It's just completely wrong time slot for
It's
for the audience that they're aiming at.
I know.
It's just crazy. It's absolutely
It is
crazy.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because Class is a really good series. It's such a shame to think that probably next week's, on Monday, the two episodes which are absolutely brilliant, The Metaphysical Engine and The Lost, the final 2 episodes, they're both really good episodes.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the ratings will probably go down for those.
Yeah, and it's a shame that there's every likelihood it's the last we'll see of Class.
Yes.
Because it hasn't been as popular, I think, as perhaps they'd hoped.
But I hope they do something to tie up the storylines in Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yes, they could do that. They could do
Like
that.
with the Weeping Angels and stuff.
Yeah.
With the Arrival.
I don't know. What's your thinking on it? Do you think we'll see another series or not?
I hope so we get some stories solved. But I think it could be, definitely if we get season 2, that will be the final series.
Yeah. It's either that or a special that...
Yeah, I would like to see an hour-long special where it just solves plot holes with the whole April thing, with the whole Arrival thing, and all that stuff with the Weeping Angels. You know, loads of things.
Yeah, there's definitely things to be resolved, isn't there?
There is, yes. Other ratings, though, are now available for the first 2 episodes of Class, shown on BBC One 2 weeks ago, which include those who recorded the programme and watched it within a week. Episode 1, For Tonight We Might Die... Is it May Die? For Tonight We May Die. I swear it's Might Die.
Not sure.
Yeah, it's Mike though. Yeah, no, got it wrong. Which was broadcast at 10:45 p.m. 10:46 p.m. had a confirmed audience of 1.06 million viewers, a 10.7% share of the total TV audience. The channel average for the time slot is, as expected, higher with 1.85 million, and the figure is about 12% higher than the initial overnight figures. Additional 0.66 million have accessed the episode on iPlayer since its release on BBC Three last October. Which that's quite good.
Yeah.
Episode 2, The Coach with the Dragon Tattoo, followed immediately afterwards, starting at 11:40 p.m. And had a consolidated audience of 0.55 million watching, a share 9.5% of the audience. The channel average for the time slot is 0.64 million. Episode 2 increased its audience by 40% over the initial figure, implying many decided to go to bed and watch the episode later. Around 300,000 have accessed the episode on iPlayer.
I'm surprised people want to go to bed and watch it later because it's just stupidly late.
I know. I know. Okay, so scrolling down, next bit of news. Season 10 filming.
Oh, we've got some filming news, have we?
Filming pics. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Filming has continued on Series 10 of Doctor Who this week. Peter Capaldi has been spotted shooting scenes with Paul McKee outside of Cardiff University. As we can see in the pics that I'm just about to show Decool that we're going to talk through, which you can see in the show notes over at Mr. Lewis Moon Adventures.weebly.com. This episode sees the Doctor and Bill encounter armed truth troops dressed in crimson uniforms. Capaldi also has a rather distinct look. Let's open this. Let's get these pics up on Wales Online.
Have you looked at these already?
Yes. Here we go then.
Okay, so you better try and explain it to people so they can...
So, we've got a red armed truth soldier, and then we've got Peter Capaldi in a rather different costume.
So what episode do we think this is from?
I don't know.
No, difficult to tell.
Bill's wearing a costume which we haven't seen from before, so guess it's not related to that. There's Peter Capaldi flashing a smile for us. Loads of troops guarding outside here. Oh no, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's interesting, but difficult to know which episode we're talking about, isn't it?
No, I know. Other news though this week for this website's too distracting. I'm closing it. No, but I might close down one of the websites I was using. Interesting news though, Peter Harness has been confirmed as the final Season 10 writer. Ooh. Not the final Season 10 writer, the final Season 10 writer to be announced. We're expecting he's writing episode 6 and 7.
But we don't know whether it's a 2 one-parters or a 2-parter, do we?
Yes.
So we're assuming most of the series is going to be one-parters,
yes,
right?
Apart from the final. Okay. It's most likely that it will just be the final as a 2-parter, and it will be like Season 8 formatting.
Do you think that Stephen Moffat's going to try and make it as awkward as possible for Chris Chibnall to actually write? Do you think he'll do something like, oh no, my last regeneration!
I'm a dog!
Yeah, get out of that now! No, it's I'm intrigued to see what happens, because it does feel... we've had a few debates around Stephen Moffat's tenure, and I think...
like in 3 Minute Rant?
Yeah, but I think generally, regardless of the topic of 3 Minute Rant, that was just me being churlish, because I think both of us like Stephen Moffat's...
we do, yeah.
...sort of era. But I think we also both agree that it's probably time for him to to go, just to give it some bit of freshness. But I do have this feeling that he'd done everything he needed to do with this series, so it's going to be interesting to see what else he has found to keep it going for one more series one.
I know. I think that it was perfect. It will be perfect timing for him to leave.
Yeah.
But he could have left a season or two earlier.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Okay. Anything else on this item?
I don't believe so.
Anything else on news at all?
We did, yes.
Okay. Is it a Lethbridge Stewart novel?
No, to be honest.
No Lethbridge Stewart novels this week?
We have no Lethbridge Stewart novels this week.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Okay, so character options. 2017 details.
Okay.
Character options is to unveil a range of new Doctor Who figures and accessories for 2017.
Oh, we're getting some, are we, next year?
They're not necessarily that exciting.
Oh, right, okay.
The new collection will be available from mid-spring, and it has been seen for the first time on London Toy Fair, which happened on Tuesday.
Right, okay.
Heading up the range is a number of articulated figures. Set in the classic 5.5-inch scaling, each perfectly replicates some of the favourite characters past and present from the show. The 10th Doctor in tuxedo is packed in collector's packaging and comes with a figure and a sonic screwdriver. It is one of the most requested alternative outfits from fans, perfect to recreate scenes from Rise of the Cybermen and Voyage of the Damned.
Okay.
Added to this is the 10th Doctor's Sonic with lights and sound. Fans of the 10th Doctor will also be keen to get their hands on the 9th and 10th Doctor's TARDIS playset. With its motorised time rotor and pulsating lights, this has an illuminated console with 6 control buttons, removable 4 panels and flip-up console panel. Another figure in the series is the 12th Doctor, as played by Peter Capaldi in his 9th season hoodie and checked trousers outfit. The item also includes a new head sculpt and his brand new sonic screwdriver, just in time for season 10. There is also the 12th Doctor in his 9th season hoodie and black jumper outfit. Finally, if you are looking for a Cyberman with a difference, this is weird, then enjoy the new Cyberman 7-inch stretch toy. See the Doctor's arch enemy stretched many times his size, only to return back to his original shape and size once he is let loose.
Well, that's probably the most interesting out of all of them, though, because to be honest, these figures bore me.
They do. I think
there's just nothing really exciting there, is there? It's like, do you really need another Doctor in a costume?
There's so many figures out there. I could. It's like I was saying about EastEnders. I could write EastEnders much better, and I'm saying now, I could make figures much better.
Well, there's just so many great monsters that they could.
Yeah.
That they could have made the most of, and they just never have.
Easily do that. The Teller, remember the Teller? He would be great for a figure. The Veil from the last series, that was great. You know, Ashildr, you know?
Yeah.
Could have loads of people.
Yeah. But it's always amazed me how they've chosen the figures. It's like even down to like the early ones with the New Who, where they would release a figure of the guy from One Foot in the Grave.
Yeah.
I've forgotten his character name now, isn't it?
No.
Professor something or other, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, from The Empty Chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you could think, well, why have a figure for that? You know, there's so many cool monsters you can actually come up with. But last season we didn't have any figures at all, did we?
Yeah, and the variations as well. Sometimes they have like Cybermen with arm gun, or Weeping Angels with slightly broken hand.
Yeah.
Or Daleks with little scrape.
We don't need another Weeping Angel figure, do we? We don't need another Cyberman figure. We don't need another Dalek figure.
No.
We'd rather have some of the new threats, really.
Yeah, we would. And, it's getting boring now. Okay, final bit of news then. Time Shadows.
Yep.
Persuadoscope Publishing is seeking submissions for the upcoming Time Shadows 2 short story anthology to raise money for its charity. where did it go? Time Shadows 2 follows 2016's successful Time Shadows, which has already raised nearly $900 for the Enable Community Foundation. The book is edited by Stephen Hatcher, with associated editors Matt Grady and John Davies. Time Shadows 2, Doctor Who short story anthology, is over 2,000. The description here. Over 2,000 years, the Doctor has worn many faces and led many lives. He's confronted some of the most dangerous creatures in the universe and fought the demons that lurk within his own soul. Some fights he has won, the others have left his heart broken. The Doctor has held the key to time in his hands and wielded a weapon that ended billions of lives in a single moment. But he's also stopped to comfort a crying child, argued the virtue of a well-prepared meal, and fallen in love and experienced cities made of song. An impossible man living an impossible life, running away from responsibility and danger. The stories of Time Shadows 2 will explore the past actions and future consequences of the Doctor, his friends and enemies, and reflect on how they live to fight another day. The deadline for outlines for Time Shadows 2 is February the 28th, 2017. Submission guidelines available at the Persuadoscope publishing website, also over at misslewsmoonadventures.weebly.com, which could be on 3 pages, the 2017 Doctor Who blog, Everyday Treats, or Doctor Who Time and Space show notes. Commissioned writers will also receive a printed contributor's copy of the anthology. I like this type of books.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
They're quite cool.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I was just, I had a little bit of a daydream then.
Why?
No, I was thinking about something and I drifted off into like a weird daydream.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's the end of the news this week. So we'll be back with more news next week. Hopefully, it will be less sad.
Yeah. No. Hopefully so.
Next up, coming up on the show, we still got our review of Curse of the Black Spot. But next up, yeah, I know. Next up, it's time for us to run down our top 6 episodes from the RTD era in 6-episode challenge. So then, welcome back. Welcome. Now then, we are going on to talk about a time where Doctor Who had returned to our television screens. And Russell T Davies brought us back to it. Doctor Who, basically what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, or the last 3 weeks, we've been discussing through each decade what our favourite 6 stories were in the 6-episode challenge, or the second set of 6-episode challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a third set planned already. Kind of,
yeah.
Which we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably not going to come until after season 10, unless season 10 is a few weeks later than we expected.
So, what can you just remind people what the
yes, I was just about to.
Okay.
So 6-episode challenge. Basically, what we do, we pick out 6 episodes each from that decade, and we have to challenge each other with other episodes that we haven't picked from either a list that they've done, or a list or an episode which they think they'd like that they didn't put on there.
Okay.
Do you want me to read mine?
Yeah, I was just, before we do it, let's just recap as to what came from
yes.
the 60s, 70s and 80s.
So in the 60s...
Because what we do is we come up with our top 3 and then we try and narrow it down to 1, don't we?
Top 6. Yeah, then 3.
6 to 3, 3 to 1.
Yes. So, our 60s favourite was Power of the Daleks.
Mm-hmm. Our 70s favourite was Genesis of the Daleks.
And which nothing's probably going to beat. And our 80s favourite was Kaiser and Azani.
Okay, so onto the RTD
I
period.
think it's probably going to be pretty obvious what it's going to be this time.
But
there are some really good episodes in this era.
I think this is going to... Do you know, funny enough, out of all of them, I actually quite struggled to get my top 6 from RTD's period. Because
Really?
I think there's
more men.
There's 7 to me that are really, really good.
Okay.
And then after that, we get quite a few episodes that are alright, in my opinion.
Okay.
But do you wanna start off with yours?
Yeah. I have Blink,
Mm-hmm.
Human Nature Family of Blood,
Yep.
Waters of Mars,
Yep.
The Empty Child the Doctor Dances,
Mhm.
Midnight,
Yep.
and The End of Time.
Okay, that's interesting because it's quite similar to my list actually.
Is it?
So in terms of my 6, I've got Blink, Human Nature Family of Blood, Midnight, Waters of Mars, Father's Day, and The Girl in the Fireplace.
I forgot about Father's Day.
You say that every week.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
So-
I've got to cross one out.
So
yeah.
I'm
just going
and
to
to
put it
me,
on my runners up list.
just to
now.
tell you, because one of yours is the other one. When it came to the 7th one, when I said that I think there's 7 episodes that are a lot better than any others, the 7th episode for me would be The Empty Child.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think those 7 episodes are head and shoulders above everything else, and I've just moved The Empty Child, Doctor Dances outside of it.
Surely you must say though that The Empty Child the Doctor Dances is better than Miguel in the Fireplace.
It's a tough one. I really love the ending of The Girl in the Fireplace.
It is a very good ending.
I really like the Clockwork Droids.
They're both Moffat.
Yeah, they are both Moffats. The thing that I don't like about The Girl in the Fireplace is David Tennant's foppishness, because I find him overly foppish in
Not
that story.
foppish.
Yeah, we
You
haven't talked
haven't
about
used that word.
We haven't used foppish for a few weeks, have we? That's because we've been watching Matt Smith episodes for the last however long on the Randomizer.
I know.
But no, I do find there's a certain period in it where he's just very, very foppish. That bit when he suddenly comes to the rescue when Rose is about to be
In
bumped
the
off.
horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that bit at all.
It's very foppish.
But then again, in The Empty Child, I don't really like Captain Jack very much. I find him quite an irritating character.
But that's really homophobic.
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
It's not that. I mean, I just don't like him as a character.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's just I don't like him as a character. I just find him a bit irritating. So as a result of that, I think it's a really tough one, that, because there's not much in it.
But can't you say that surely Captain Jack shouldn't stand in the way? Captain Jack is in other stories.
Mm-hmm. Other stories that
Not
aren't
just-
on here because of the fact they're not as good, because Captain Jackson. And probably would Midnight still be in here if Donna was actually a main player in it?
I don't know.
Maybe not. So I don't know. Do you know? I may, just on the basis of how scary the Empty Child creatures are, I may swap them round, and I might have Empty Child in my top 6
Okay, in place of
in
what?
place of the Girl in the Fireplace.
Okay.
I think that 4 of them to me are locked on. Blink, Family Blood, Human Nature, Midnight, and Waters of Mars are by far and away the best 4 episodes of the RTD period.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd say so. But we've got to pick out one of those.
Father's Day is a really great episode,
Yes.
but it's not in the same quality as the top 4.
I mean, Silence in the Library would probably be in there, but I can't remember that one, so
No, and I've not seen that one, so that's, yeah.
just saying
So
that.
there's a handful of them that I've not seen, so, you know, there could be things to force it out.
But,
Can I throw one in at you?
yeah.
Now, it's not going to be there in my list, but probably if you asked 8 out of 10 people to name their 6 best episodes from the RTD period, Dalek could be in it.
Yeah.
Where's Dalek in yours?
it's not in my top 12.
I think we both believe Dalek is overrated, and probably, in saying that, probably be completely shot at by all other Whovians, because I think it generally is considered to be a classic. But I know for a fact it's really low down in my list.
No, I like Dalek, I must say. I really like Dalek, but I think it's heavily overrated.
Yeah.
My Twitter status at the moment mentions something about Daleks are overrated or something. I don't know.
The other one that I was going to throw in your general direction as a challenge was Rose.
Yeah.
As it's the first episode of New Who. Starts very, very well. Brings back the Autons.
Funnily enough, I do have Rose in my runners-up list.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it gets into the top 6. So
it's in my runners-up list, but it's not in my top 6.
There's one you mentioned which surprised me. You mentioned. Can you just run through yours again?
Is it The End of Time?
Yes.
Okay.
Should
I go through and explain why?
Yeah, go through and explain why you want like each of them.
Blink. Very good because first story with Weeping Angels. Mm-hmm. Weeping Angels are brilliant in it.
Yep.
Brilliant concept and everything.
Probably the best new monster that has been brought to us.
Yes.
I would say.
Then also it's very clever because it doesn't involve the Doctor or the companion in it very much.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
It involves Sally Sparrow and also Larry and Kathy Nightingale are also characters quite involved heavily in the episode.
Yeah.
Human Nature, Family of Blood, my first ever Doctor Who story.
Mm.
I watched it again recently. Love it. I just love that story. It's very, very good. Waters of Mars, The Flood, a brilliant concept. I'd really like it if the rumours are true that they bring them back in season 10 for the first episode. But if they do in the first episode, then they may be underused because of Bill's entrance.
I do think that of all the monsters we've had in New Who, and we've had some great monsters introduced. If you go back to the John Pertwee era and you look at how many great long-standing creatures or villains we had, we had
the Master, the Autons, Sontarans, Silurians.
Yeah, so we had a lot of creatures that have come back on multiple occasions. What's New Who brought us? It's brought us the Weeping Angels and the Huge, possibly, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Silence, you could argue to a certain extent,
but they were only in one season.
Yeah.
And a Christmas one slightly.
Yeah.
They weren't villains in that.
Yeah. But the Flood, albeit that they are only in one story, to me are probably the second best villain that has been introduced in the New Who era.
Yes. Empty Child, Doctor Dancers, love it. Empty Child, the Empty Child are brilliant. Very atmospheric story.
Yep.
The Night Doctor Rose, they're great. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight, Doctor stuck on a ship with loads of other characters.
Yep.
Very with
clever,
a sort of entity. It's very clever. And then The End of Time, I actually love.
I'm confused. I'm a bit confused here.
Why?
I thought you knocked something out for Father's Day.
No.
You decided not to?
No.
So you're sticking with End of Time?
Now, there may be some silly bits in there.
Yeah.
However, I do love The End of Time. I think it's the last one with David Tennant.
See,
It's very epic. I love the build up to it. I love, I do think his ending goes on for too long.
Definitely.
However, very big build up, very good build up. I really like it.
To me, the ending of The End of Time is really sort of, to me, sums up Russell T Davies's era of Doctor Who, in that it's just a bit too over the top for me.
Yeah. It's good to see Sarah Jane and stuff. That bit's nice.
I prefer seeing Sarah Jane in that than I did in the rubbish Davos one. Stolen Nerve.
It's not that bad.
No, it's down. It's a red one for me. It's down in my terrible episode.
He hates it.
I just hate that end scene. I hate that bit with Dr. Donna. I hate the Dr. Donna bit.
Oh, no,
I just really hate that.
I don't mind it.
I hate Donna anyway, let alone when she becomes like a powerful Time Lord.
Okay, I like the End of Time. Let's just say that you won't like the End of Time, but I like it.
Is that the one with the master doing where there's lots of masters all clapping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that bit.
Yeah. That's brilliant, that scene.
So
we were
that's
in
the
hysterics when we first watched that.
So actually, when you look at that, when you run down the list, we've got 5 out of the 6 we agree with.
Yes.
The only difference in there is I've got Father's Day in mind.
Should I read the runners-up, the ones that you could have challenged me with?
You could have had these. Yep.
I could have had, but I wouldn't have I wouldn't swapped any of them,
Okay.
probably. I have the Christmas Invasion.
Very good episode.
Yes.
But not worthy of getting into the top 6, I think.
No, but
One of the
runners
best
up.
villains, though.
Yes.
Certainly be up there in the top
Runners up
villains.
because it's my favourite RTD
Yeah.
Christmas special.
Yep.
We don't count the End of Time because
It's not really a Christmas
Part-
one, is it?
part-
Not a Christmas.
Part 1's Christmassy. It's got
Mhm.
a few Christmas references because it was on Christmas, and Part 2 has a Christmas tree in the background, and that's all. Like Return of Doctor Mysterio. Rose, I've got in there.
Mhm.
The first story of New Who, very good. I did swap Utopia with Girl in the Fireplace.
Yeah.
So that's out of my runners-up list now.
Yeah.
Utopia is. Turn Left.
I've not seen Turn Left.
Oh, it's very good. I really want to watch it again. For some reason, it's like season 4 is very Moorish. I really want to watch it all again.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
It's got Donna in it,
I know.
which makes me not want to watch it again.
But Turn Left, I hate to say it, the Doctor's, it's the reverse of Midnight. Donna's in it loads,
Mhm.
Doctor's dead.
Yeah.
It's basically a parallel universe where, like, the Doctor dies, everyone dies, and what would happen if everyone, like, all of the Doctor's companions and stuff just died and
Okay.
catastrophe broke out on Earth.
Yeah.
Without the Doctor.
Okay.
Then we've got Father's Day on the list and The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit.
Which they are good episodes as well. What occurred to me though is, seeing as though so many people pine over the Russell T Davies era, I found it very, very easy to identify the best episodes.
Yeah.
I found it very difficult to slim it down to the 6 from 7, but to me there's a handful of really good episodes, very, very good episodes. 4
Yeah.
in particular that are absolutely top-notch stories.
And
But
I've got
as
to
an
throw
actual
an Empty Child in there.
But as an actual overall period, there's a hell of a lot of average stories on there, like the Sontaran Stratagem,
Daleks in Manhattan.
Daleks in
Both
Manhattan,
written by the same person.
Planet of the Ood.
The Doctor's Daughter.
Yeah, there's.
Unicorn and the Wasp.
I mean, they're all right.
Shakespeare Codes.
They're
you know,
watchable, but
Gridlock.
they're not great. They're not classics.
No.
I don't look at it. Sorry, Russell, but I don't look at it as being the great age of Doctor Who that some people see it as being.
I think most of the episodes at the Strong Point are written by Stephen Moffat in this era.
Uh-huh.
However, RTD did write Midnight.
Hmm.
He did write Turn Left. He did co-write Waters of Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I've got and Rose and
To me, the ones that really stand out from this era are those where they try something different. So Blink, with its Weeping Angels, which is,
Yes.
is it's got a horror story written all over it, and the fact the Doctor isn't in it very much. Human Nature, Family of Blood, the Doctor isn't in it very much. You know,
No.
he's playing a different character essentially, isn't he?
Yeah.
Midnight, the Doctor is in it, but it's just a very original story with
Yes.
no real visible monster, and it's something they've used a few times since then. Waters of Mars, I think, is probably David Tennant's strongest.
Oh yeah,
episode
he is brilliant in that
as
one.
the Doctor.
I think.
I generally, as people know on here, because I've moaned about it loads of times, I'm not the biggest fan of David Tennant's Doctor. I really like David Tennant as an actor, but I'm not that keen on him as the Doctor. But I do really love his portrayal in this one because it's got that sort of slightly darker edge. Father's Day, really original story.
Yeah.
One that I would love to come up on the randomiser in a minute. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Because I've only seen it once. It might not be as good. It might be like the Curse of the Black Spot.
Oh no.
And then
that wasn't good the first time.
no. And then Empty Child and or Girl in the Fireplace. Both just really original stories, I think. Both quite creepy.
Yes.
So, but there is a lot of tosh in RTD's period as well.
Yeah. Fear Her,
Yeah.
Love and Monsters.
Yeah.
Sorry. Boomtown.
Yeah, I use the word tosh. I don't mean tosh because it's not the.
Dashiko Seiko.
They're just very, very average. So, if we then were to narrow this down to one, there's only one answer, isn't there?
Blink.
Got to be Blink, isn't it?
Yeah. However much I love Human Nature,
Yeah.
got to put in Blink.
I think it's got to be Blink.
Yeah. I actually watched Blink as our 53rd anniversary story because you were meant to be coming around on that night, but you were ill or something.
Yeah.
And we were going to watch the Time Meddler actually.
Oh yeah.
But instead, I watched the Blink because I thought,
why not? Because you
why
can.
not? We've got one more of these series left. So
Yep,
sadly, if you've been enjoying this feature, I mean, we don't like to run these features for more than 6 parts, but.
Am I right in thinking that what we're going to do is we're going to do Moffat's era, and then we will refresh that after series 10 to see whether it changes it?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
we are going to do it as either part of. Do you think we should do it as part of our season 10 overview?
Perhaps as part of our season 10 overview. Yeah.
Or maybe we should do a feature where we refresh our best and worst series, as well as the 6-episode challenge.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that item, people, and we'd be very interested, as always, to know what your top 6 favourite RTD period episodes are.
Or just your favourite 3 or something.
Yeah. Do you agree with what we've said? Do you think we're talking rubbish? Do you agree with my very controversial statement that actually the vast majority of episodes of Russell T Davies are a little bit bland?
Toshiko Seiko.
Do you agree with that, Lou? Am I being a bit harsh there or not?
There are quite a lot of meh episodes in that era,
Yeah.
I must say. There aren't necessarily many terrible episodes, but...
No, I'd agree with that as well. In fact, there's more terrible episodes probably in Stephen Moffat.
Yes, there are, but I would say there's more meh episodes than most eras.
Yeah.
Than any other, I would say, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh no, 80s.
Yeah, the 80s maybe. Yeah. Okay. So, there we have it. We'll end on that, shall we? And then next week we'll carry on with our Stephen Moffat era one and see what. That's going to be interesting, actually.
It is, yeah.
I think in my own head I know what will win that, but we will find out.
Oh yeah, I know what you're going to say, but oh no. No, it's a mix between 2 stories, I think. Because there's one which is a Capaldi and one which is a Smith that I think may be highlighted. One which I would say and one which I think you would say.
Yeah. So we will see what we come up with. I think next week's is going to be a really interesting one.
Next week's going to be next week's going to be a harder one, I think.
Yeah.
For not necessarily the top 6, but for the best one.
Yeah. No, I think so. Well, thanks for that. We've got one more item on this week's show, which is
our review of The Curse of the Black Spot. Curse of the Black Spot.
Boring.
Bet you've been waiting for this point in the whole episode as we've been going, oh, it's rubbish. So, Curse of the Black Spot, third episode of the 6th series of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who in a revived series. It's written by Stephen Thompson, who also wrote Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS and Time Heist, but this was his first story. It's directed by Jeremy Webb as well. The episode was broadcast on the 7th of May 2011 on BBC One in the United Kingdom and on BBC America in the United States. Features the Doctor played by Matt Smith and his companions Amy played by Karen Gillan and Rory played by Arthur Darvill. The episode's based around pirates, and I suppose Deacle will talk about that in a minute. But the producers wish to develop a pirate-themed episode for the 6th series and allow the protagonist to just sit back and have some fun on the adventure, which we did whilst watching it. The Curse of the Black Spot was seen by 7.85 million viewers and received generally mixed reviews from critics. It gained an audience appreciation index of 86, considered excellent.
Really?
There was also a prequel released, yeah. There you go, Deacle. You can
Would you like me to
reveal
give a bit of a synopsis
some of the synopsis.
Okay, so as Lewis just explained, this sort of follows on from Day of the Moon, which is quite an intense episode in many respects.
Yeah.
And this is certainly one of the more light-hearted affairs. Basically, the Doctor and companions receive a distress signal and they board a 17th century pirate ship which is stranded in the middle of the ocean. The ship's crew have been sort of attacked, I guess, by this siren-like creature. Now, the siren, I think I'm right in saying, is actually a legend of old, I believe.
I believe so, yes.
Of this sort of like singing voice that used to pull ships into trouble. And basically, but sort of feeding off in many respects from the whole Treasure Island concept, people started getting these black spots on their palms after they were injured in any way. As soon as that happens, a siren will then appear, lulls the victims into a trance and makes them want to sort of walk up to her, and then as soon as they walk up to her, they disintegrate. During a bit of a fight and rough and tumble with the pirates, Rory Williams receives a cut and he finds a black spot on his own hand, but Amy and the Doctor sort of prevent him from being taken over by the siren. So initially they think that the siren is actually using water as a sort of means of getting to them, so the Doctor tries to get everybody to seek refuge in the ship's magazine, which is sort of like the weaponry. Excuse me a second. In doing that, whilst they're in there, they find that this young lad is actually a stowaway on the ship, a lad called Toby, and he turns out to be the son of the ship's captain, Henry Avery. And he'd basically sort of stowed away on the ship after his mother had died, and he wasn't aware that his dad was a pirate at all. He thought that he was sort of a captain. So as a result of having a fever, he's also got a black spot on his hand, and they soon sort of realise that actually it doesn't just seem to be something where people get a bit of a cut, which is what the original feeling was, but it's anybody that is ill in any way.
Yes.
Starts getting this black spot. Without going into too much more, they soon realise that actually the ship is running parallel in time and space with this spacecraft where all the aliens on it succumbed to illness themselves, and the siren isn't, spoiler alert folks, the siren isn't actually this sort of demon, but is in fact actually the ship's computerised nurse trying to nurse everyone back.
Although she can be seen in demonic form.
She can, but I think it's just a protective thing to stop people from interfering with the medical stuff. So that's it. That actually makes it sound far more interesting than the episode actually was. What do you make of this episode then, Nurse?
As you can guess from my size, not a big fan Not a big fan of this episode at all. I think it's one of the weakest episodes in the revised series.
Yep.
I think it's... I mean, I'm not a big fan of historical episodes. And I hate to be critical about Doctor Who because it is my favourite television programme. And I do hate to be critical. And it's very rare where you find me being critical or this critical about an episode. You know, I don't get that much. You know, we've had Fear Her and Sleep No More and everything where I actually am critical.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some good bits. It's quite a good plot, but there are quite good ideas set up in it. But I was so bored. I just found it's one of those stories. There are a few stories like this. Well, I think we should do an article about this. It's one of those stories where there's nothing actually special about it.
No.
Nothing really special about it. No.
Apart from
First episode of a season, first episode of the monster, first episode of a companion, first episode of a doctor, last episode of any of those, or a memorable monster, villain, or character.
The only thing is, Karen Gillan looks very yummy just as a pirate.
Yeah, but that's not really memorable.
That doesn't really count. Do you know, I mean, since we've been doing the randomizer, we've watched 96, I think that was the 96th 96th story that we've watched. That is in my bottom 4. That's how bad I think that episode is. It's oddly, bad probably isn't really the right
terrible.
No. It's just
you put terrible on my Twitter poll.
I did put terrible. It is terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it is terrible. It's really badly written. It's just terrible.
The main characters in it, as in Avery and the son, are quite likeable characters, I think.
They are.
The siren, played by the model, I've got the name, Lily something or other.
Leah? No.
Yeah. She looks really good. And actually, well, I'll tell you what, before we go on to it, let's do too good, too bad, and see what we think are too good and too bad things about the story, and then perhaps we can expand on that.
I'm going to say
Too good, one good each.
One of the goods was a quote we really laughed about in the episode where Amy goes... Henry goes up to...
They get beamed onto the hospital gate.
Yes, and Henry goes, Toby! And Amy goes, Rory! And then the doctor goes over and says, the TARDIS!
yeah, that was good. That was the single best moment in the whole
I know. That was the only bit I actually liked, so I can't say anything else.
My good is that actually it looked good. I like the setting.
Yes.
I like the whole idea of doing a pirate episode. It's just a shame that it was a very disappointing one, because pirates are a great...
Big Finish!
A really good part of history, and
Big Finish.
a really interesting part of history. So I was really glad to see a pirate episode. I just would rather have seen something a bit different than that.
They did do a Big Finish about pirates, which I'm intrigued to see about.
But it looked really good as well, didn't it? The actual siren looked really good. When the siren turns bad, you know, when she gets angry, it's quite great, I think.
This is meant to be one of the best Big Finish stories. It's meant to be one of the ones that you should start watching.
Yeah, which one's that then?
Doctor and the Pirates.
Okay, which Doctor's that?
It's the 6th Doctor. It's meant to be quite good.
Okay.
Much better pirate story, apparently.
Yeah. So that's our too good, too bad.
It's just not a very good episode. I'm just going to say that I didn't like the episode. I found it really boring. I found it wasn't that well written, and I just didn't like it.
My bad is just that I think it's trying to be very family fun sort of episode, and it just fails to me. It's just not funny. It's
forced,
just a bit annoying.
As you were saying earlier.
It does feel really forced, yeah. And I said there's nothing real. I'm not digging at the actors and things. It just feels forced. I don't like it. Do you know? When it was on the first time out, it's only the second time I've watched it. The first time I watched it, I thought it was alright. It's quite watchable.
I thought it was meh.
It was quite a watchable episode.
This time I think it's bad.
Yeah.
Not meh.
What do people think? I mean, you put the question out earlier in the week to the Twitter audience.
Yes, I did.
And you said, what were the 4 categories that you asked?
So, should I read out what the scores were?
First of all, just give the 4 categories.
So, fantastic, good, alright and terrible.
Okay.
Should I read them?
Read the scores out.
From lowest?
Yeah, from the lowest upwards.
No, do you mean what one was voted least?
No, you should do it from terrible upwards.
Okay. People voted 22% terrible. 56% alright, so that's the leading category.
Yeah.
11% good and 11% fantastic.
Okay.
I would say it's in the terrible category.
It's in the terrible category for me. I was one of the people that voted on it.
Yeah.
I just think it's... I don't, you could say it's arguing, because there's nothing about it which... It's not like boring or anything like that.
No.
It's one of these, I'm not really sure why they bothered sort of episodes.
I know, it's, as you were saying earlier, typical second episode in the season.
Yeah. Okay, I've got nothing really more to say about it. Have you?
No.
It's just... it's not an episode I'd recommend anyway.
No, it isn't. It's one of my least favourite Doctor... It was one of the episodes which I was least looking forward to. Usually I think, yay, like last week. Yay, we're watching Rings of No, Angels Take Manhattan. Yay, we're watching, Power of the Daleks. Yay, we're watching The War Machines. Yay, we're watching... The Caretaker. Those are some of the episodes we've been watching recently.
Would it be fair? It's a little bit of a tangent, but I'm going to ask you the question anyway. We were talking in the 6-episode challenge about how there's only a handful of episodes that are real classics from the RTD period.
Yeah.
I also think, equally as big a criticism, Matt Smith's era had some great episodes in it.
It did, but it did have some...
It actually had some of the worst episodes in Doctor Who history coming from that era.
Closing Time. Curse of the Black Spot.
Yeah, the dinosaur one.
Dinosaurs on the Spaceship. Rings of Akaten. There's the other one. There was another one, wasn't there?
People would probably
Nightmare
say Doctor the Widow and the Wardrobe. Actually, Nightmare in Silver is still worse than Curse of the Black Spot to me.
Yeah.
I really hate that one.
No.
Mainly because I was really looking forward for it and I was really disappointed. There's bits of it I do like. But
yeah. The Matt Smith Cybermen episodes just failed, and so did Victory of the Daleks.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Scores. Should we do scores?
Yes, let's go for scores.
Okay, so monsters and villains.
Okay, well, I don't think you can really class the pirates in this instance. You can only really class the Siren. I think the Siren's quite original as a villain.
Yeah.
Has got that sort of scary bit that she does, but it certainly isn't a weeping angel, is it? I'm going to say 7.
Character development.
4.
Okay.
We don't do anything.
No.
It doesn't really develop anything.
Excitement.
6.
Yeah. Pace.
The pace is actually alright. Actually, the pace. There's nothing wrong with the pace. I'll probably give it a 7 for pace. I think for what it is, it goes along quite good pace.
And story.
5.
29 out of 50.
Yeah.
So.
Not great.
Not great. No.
Let's press the magic randomizer and find something really good.
Please say it's a better episode and not like a rubbish one.
So what is the magic randomizer, Luke?
Well, magic randomizer. Every single episode of Doctor Who. Click it. We've got a macro in there. We click it. It tells us what we're going to be watching and reviewing on next week's show.
So let's load up that Excel spreadsheet, and we will press. The funny thing is, just every week people over here you go, oh, and they probably wonder what it is.
Yeah.
When you actually load up the randomizer, before you press the button, it's already done a random episode. But we always exclude that one because we like to press the randomizer button. But each week it seems to come up with a really good episode that we'd like.
This
to
week it's Weather Fear.
Never mind. What we got then? Let's press it. Oh, it's a cracker. It's a cracker. It's one of the ones we're looking forward for. It's one of the ones that means that we won't be pressing the randomizer again for some time.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We'll have to watch 5 in a week.
So what are we talking about?
The War Games.
One of the best from Patrick Troughton's era.
One of the best from Classic Who.
Yeah, War Games.
We love War Games.
The last Second Doctor episode.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Oh, we are glad we said that. We hope.
Yeah.
Oh,
brilliant. Well, I think we can end the show on a happy note then.
Yes.
A show that's been very sad. 'Cause we've had the news of John Hurt's
and
death.
That was very sad to hear of John Hurt, and we paid tribute to all of his family, especially his wife and children, and all of his fans and friends, and the Doctor Who community, because they've all been mourning the death of John Hurt today.
We've also been sad because on a day of sad news like that, we've had to watch The Curse of the Black Spot.
I know.
Which didn't really do much to lift our morale.
No, we wanted something like the War Games.
Yeah.
But the upside of that is we get to watch 2 episodes on a Wednesday, 3 episodes on a Saturday.
Well, there we have it. So we'll be coming at you next week with a head full of Who.
Yeah. But yeah, it might not be a full review, but we do have 5 episodes to talk about, so it might be quite a long review anyway, because it's not like it's one which is 6-parter where we only watch 3 in a week.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week.
What do we have on next week's show?
Episode 197. We will be taking a look at our top 6 episodes from the 2010s.
Excellent.
Stephen Moffat era.
We will be reviewing, as you've just heard, the War Games, the first few parts.
First 5 parts. We will be discussing the latest news and views.
And that's probably about it.
Yeah, it's quite
imagine.
a short
So
show next week. Unless we do a Who to Face.
We may do it. We might pop a Who to Face.
We might pop a Who to Face because, depending on the amount of news we have, we will probably pop a Who to Face in there. Stuff then. Otherwise, how you can contact us? You can contact us at drwhotime_space on Twitter, as in N.
Yep. You can get hold of me with Mark, M-A-R-C, Freak Geek.
So you can let us know on there what you thought of Curse of the Black Spot, what you think of the War Games, which... Should I do a Twitter poll this week, or should I do...
Yeah, do one this week. Do one this week.
And then we... and you could also let us know, you could send us our the tributes for John Hurt's Doctor. I will be doing a moment of that on Twitter. You can let us know what your favourite 6 2000s or 2010 stories are. And you can also retweet or like my post of questions, which will come out every few days. This time it's Best Doctor, Best Companion, Best Monster, Best Villain, Best New Who episode, Best Classic Who episode, Best Dalek episode, Best Cyberman episode, Best Master episode, and Best Gallifrey episode. But I will be, if I get more than 5 retweets or likes, then I will release another post today.
And I think also, in terms of people contacting us, we'd like to know who it was that said The Curse of Black Spot was excellent.
Yes, that would be brilliant to know.
And why.
Yeah, because we love to know your opinions.
Yep.
You can also get us on Miss Loose Moon at YouTube, Doctor Time and Space at Podomatic, iTunes, the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.
Yep.
You know, you can check us out most places.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm Dr. Cool. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, I'm Lewis Moon. Thank you very much for listening. And we will see you next time. Same time.
Same space.
Farewell.